Good evening, everyone. I'm your host Yashasvi Gupta with your daily roundup of legal updates from across the country. For detailed reading, you can always visit on our website and please make sure to watch this video till the end. The top court has dismissed a PIL challenging the union government's ethanol blending program, which mandates petrol with 20% ethanol. Senior advocate Shaadan Farasat for the petitioner referred to a 2021 Niti Aayog report, which is said expressed concerns about the impact on older vehicles which are not compatible with E20. He clarified that the petitioner was not against ethanol blending, but was only seeking an option of ethanol-free petrol for vehicles manufactured before 2023, which are not compatible with E20. Farasat said that only vehicles which are manufactured after April 2023 are compatible with E20 petrol. He referred to the reports regarding 6% drop in fuel efficiency due to the use of E20. He highlighted that the Niti Aayog also expressed concerns about the lack of availability of E10 or E0 petrol options in parallel. However, Attorney General R. Venkatramani defended the policy, highlighting its benefits for the farmers and India's energy strategy. Chief Justice B.R. Gavai, after hearing arguments, simply declared dismissed. The ruling underscores the court's backing of India's push for ethanol blending despite consumer concerns. The Supreme Court issued notice to the union and state governments on a PIL filed by a class 12th student seeking inclusion of transgender inclusive comprehensive sexuality education in schools curricula and textbooks prepared by NCERT and SCERTs. A bench of CJI B.R. Gavai and Justice K. Vinod Chandran heard the matter. The petition alleges non-compliance with earlier Supreme Court rulings in NALSA and Society for Enlightenment and Voluntary Action and the violation of Transgender Persons Act 2019. It highlights that NCERT and most SCERTs have failed to integrate structured content on gender identity, diversity, and sex gender distinctions. The plea argues such omissions violate fundamental rights under Article 14, 15, 19, 1A, 21, and 21A. And disregards directive principles. The plea also seeks directions to NCERT, SCERTs, and other authorities to incorporate scientifically accurate, age-appropriate, and transgender-inclusive CSE into educational institutions nationwide. In the Bihar Special Intensive Revision matter, the Election Commission of India told the Supreme Court on Monday that claims and objections can be filed with respect to the draft electoral rolls even after the September 1st deadline, and that all such claims and objections filed before the last date of nominations will be considered. Taking note of this submission, the court did not pass any order to extend the September 1st deadline. A bench comprising Justice Suryakant and Justice Joymalia Bagchi was considering the applications filed by political parties seeking to extend the deadline by 2 weeks. The court also requested the executive chairman of the Bihar State Legal Services Authority to issue instructions by tomorrow before noon to all district legal services authorities to depute or notify paralegal volunteers along with their names and mobile numbers who will assist the individual voters and political parties for the online submission of claims, objections, or corrections. Each paralegal volunteer shall thereafter submit a confidential report to the concerned district judge. This information so collected from the paralegal volunteers may be collated at the level of State Legal Services Authority. In the next news today, the Delhi High Court has directed the central government to appoint a women candidate as an Air Force pilot, holding that gender-based exclusion in the armed forces is impermissible. A division bench of Justice C. Harikumar and Justice Om Prakash Shukla noted that once recruitment stipulations are prescribed, all eligible candidates must be treated equally, regardless of their gender. The case arose from a UPSC notification dated 17 May 2023, which advertised 92 Air Force flying vacancies, including 2 earmarked for women. While both women's seats were filled, out of the remaining 90 open vacancies, only 70 men were appointed, leaving 20 posts vacant. The petitioner, who was 7th in the women's merit list after the 2 selected candidates, was denied appointment despite possessing a valid fit to fly certificate. Allowing her plea, the court held that the remaining 90 vacancies were open to both men and women, not exclusively to men. Citing Arshanur Kaur versus Union of India, it stressed that recruitment cannot be interpreted in a gender-skewed manner. Therefore, the court directed her immediate appointment with equal service benefits, seniority, and entitlements as other selected candidates. The Himachal Pradesh High Court has granted bail to 4 accused in a case under the POCSO Act observing that bail cannot be denied solely on the ground that victims would be traumatized. In this matter, Justice Rakesh Kantla noted the state's argument that the petitioner's actions frightened the victims, but held that this was not sufficient to justify continued custody. The petitioners were arrested on allegations that they harassed the complainant's daughter while they were returning from school. The accused was booked under sections 126 clause 2, that is sexual harassment of women by assault or use of criminal force, section 352, which talks about punishment for assault or criminal force otherwise than on grave provocation, section 79, which talks about common intention, and section 78 clause 1, which talks about acts done by several persons in furtherance of common intention of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and section 12 of the POCSO Act, which talks about sexual harassment of a child. The petitioners contended that they were innocent and falsely implicated. Also, since they have been in custody for more than 4 months, the charge sheet has also been filed and no fruitful purpose would be served by keeping them in custody. The court granted bail to the petitioners, holding that bail cannot be denied just because the victims would be traumatized by the acts of the petitioners. The court stated that the petitioners deserve a chance to reform themselves, and danger to the victims can be avoided by imposing strict conditions.